Page 44, Pomp and Circumstance number 1. On page 44 they talk a little bit about two-part writing in music. You can read all about that on page 44 if you want. I want to talk about this piece, and I'll cover two-part writing when I'm talking about this piece. 2/4 time with 1 sharp. We're in the key of G major. Time to go do the scale on G major. Make sure you can play it 1 octave up and down, both hands together. No, you got to get to where you can play that scale without even thinking about it. So when you think of G major in your head, you automatically think of 1 sharp. They go together. Right hand first, half notes, B and a G. They're saying 1/4. The idea is we want to cover this top melody and we want to play it legato. So it's here and then come down. Connect it all with the fingers here, so that's why they're using 1/4. And then the thumb is covering the other part, the bottom note. And that B is tied now. You don't play it again. Hang on to it. And then you can lift up and move. And then, top of page 45, first measure. You see the half note B and the 8th note B next to each other. This is how they do it when they have multiple parts, the 2 parts, and they're both doing the singing or playing the same note at the same time. They do it this way. You play them, you just play it once, you don't play it twice. But the idea is you cover both voices, so the top note, the top voice is here, and the bottom note voice is that half note. So you have to hold the B down to cover both voices, like so. And that's what that means. And then the next measure, that A, half note A, that has a stem above and below it. It's got 2 stems. Well, that's because both voices are on that same note. And so the stems are simply covering both voices. Now some music, even in 2-part writing, when you get it like this, they may only give you 1 stem. Doesn't matter, both voices are there. And that's tied. You're going to hang on to that for 4 counts, and then go on here, 1 and 2, and then watch the fingering, 3, 1. And they've got a 1/5. There are other fingerings you can use besides 1/5, but they cause other problems otherwise. So if you can, do the 1/5. And then 2. Hold the D down, it's tied, and you just add the C to it. And then you'd repeat back over if you're going to repeat. Let's go on. 3rd line here. And then you lift up and move up. 2, 5. And then again, they want the... Now, here, you don't have to do a 1/5 if you don't want to. You can get away with 2/5. Make sure you hold that half note down, and then use the 1 on the G. So they're showing you a 1 on the 2nd G, but if you do this, you've got 1 on the 1st G too. And then you're holding the B down, and you're playing these, the bottom voice. And then lift up. This rhythm, 1 and 2 and. Make sure you got that. And then the D, you're playing it with the thumb and substituting the 2nd finger. That's what that 1-2 means. You don't have to do that. You're here. You just play it with 2nd finger. Just come down and play it. And you're there. You don't have to substitute. And then 1-3 in the last line. And then here 2-5. And hold the 2 down. And then they're saying 1-5. That's okay. And both of those notes are tied, so you can hold them both. That's the right hand. And the 2 voices are simply, you can see the stems going up or down or pointing out which voice is which. You simply have to cover both voices. And the bottom, and I mean, you could say this is 2-part writing too, but when both voices are doing the same rhythm all the time, they just use 1 stem. There's no point in having separate stems. So you could have 2 voices doing these notes too. That's fine. Just follow their fingering, it's okay. Top of page 45, last 2 measures of the first line. As you're up here, that's an E, G, A. Don't forget the F sharps. Let's jump down to the bottom on page 45. You're here. Reach down, and then here. Second finger on the D, and that last G is an AVA under it, so you got to go all the way down. You're in that position. That's fine. Then put the hands together carefully. Remember to hold the B down. You work it out, make sure you can play both hands together. And we go back, as far as the articulation goes, it's just lifting up in the slurs in the right hand. The left hand is pretty much as legato as you can make it, considering you're playing chords. So, but the slurring in the right hand is kind of important. We can add the dynamics. The beginning, the first time you play it, it's piano or soft. This is the top note, the top voice. Everything else has to be under that. Everything else needs to be very soft. And then when you repeat it and come back, then you can play the top voice moderately loud, mezzo forte. You can bring everything else up a little bit, but keep it under that mezzo forte. So the second time, it's louder. Then you get to the bottom of page 45 and the last line. Now you're going up to fortissimo. That's 2 F's, very loud. That's the top note. Everything else can be loud, but it's got to be less than that. And there's an allegando, I can't say that. Slow down a little bit. The effect is to broaden it out, which in effect means slow down. It's very majestic. Okay. Then they add the pedal. Okay, fine, let's add the pedal. You need pedal to smooth this out because of all this going on. Even when you play these chords in the left hand, you need to try and play them as legato as you can with the hands. But we can't get them as legato as we need them, so we'll add the pedal. Plus, we like to add some overtones. Fill this out with sound more, and the pedal will let us do that. It's overlapping pedal or legato or sync pedal, whatever you want to call it. The notes go down first and then the pedal. And when I change the pedal, I'll do it right after I play the notes. Thing about pedaling and notes and all that. At the top of page 45, you see that half note? I told you to hold it down. Well, when you're using pedal, the sound's going to be there anyway, if I hold it down or not. It's going to sound the same. The point is you hold it down with the fingers anyway, because regardless of what you're doing with the pedal, the hands have to do the work. So it doesn't matter. Hold that down anyway. So, especially since on the second beat, if you change pedal, if you don't hold it down, you'll lose it, because when you change pedal, it'll go away. See, that's all I have now, because I changed pedal, so hold it down. So, molto maestoso, the speed, very majestic. This is a proud, this think of it at graduation, that's where it's used a lot. It's kind of a march, but so very majestic. Learn it well enough that you can get into this, and then you can start fluctuating or changing the dynamics. I mean, there's a crescendo there at the top of page 45 here. Actually, you can put a little crescendo toward the end of the second line too, because you've been soft and you crescendo up at the top of page 45 to maybe a medium soft, just come up. And then at the toward the end of the second line, now you can start crescendoing up to a medium loud, because that's what you're going to be when you repeat. So the second line lasts, because you repeat. A little louder, now you're medium loud. You build up this tension you're leading in, and that gets people excited and their hair stands up and all. I'd like to play this very slowly with you to double check the notes and rhythms. I don't think that's really a problem, but let's just do it just the same. I'm going to give us 4 counts. I will play. I am going to take the repeat, but I'm not going to do the dynamics. I'm just going to do notes and rhythms. 1, 2, ready, go.